Republican Congressman Duncan Hunter is now under investigation for using campaign funds to pay for things that he probably shouldn't pay for. Things like dental work, flying his pet rabbit on vacation. Yes, that is an actual charge against him. In fact, according to HuffPost, Hunter and his wife Margaret are facing 60 charges related to the alleged misuse of $250,000 in campaign funds. That's include paying for personal expenses such as lavish vacations as well as dinners and the aforementioned flying of the pet bunny. Now, Hunter, of course, is running for re-election in California, a very conservative district there, and is currently, strangely enough, leading in the polls. Now, he has dismissed these charges as a political witch hunt. It's a witch hunt, guys. Does that sound familiar? Now, here's the thing. I'll get back to the polls later because that's actually a fascinating question. But first, I'm going to go to his defense. Now, he's out there with a new defense, which is basically, leave my family alone. Now, the congressman recently told KGTV in San Diego that he wanted to protect his wife, since his wife has also been implicated. He said, leave my wife out of it, leave my family out of it. It's me they're after anyway. They're not after my wife. They want to take me down. That's what they're up to. So let's get this in the arena and have this settled. Who's they? The Trump-led, or I should say Jeff Sessions-led Justice Department? That's who they are. But of course, Republicans that are getting themselves in trouble, as well as Donald Trump, they're like, oh, that Justice Department, full of liberals. What? No, Jeff Sessions. I don't want to defend Jeff Sessions. But in this case, the Justice Department really does need to look into this. And thankfully, they are. And there are 60 charges. This is, pretty much unmistakable what happened. They spent the campaign money on things that they shouldn't have. Now, what's funny about that defense? Leave my wife alone. Well, but wait a minute. You just got done throwing your wife under the bus. And now you're going to say, leave her alone. Leave her alone. Now, I love that, right? Because maybe she's making him sleep on the couch or something. I wouldn't blame her because take a look at how hard he had thrown his wife under the bus before. This was on Fox News. Let's take a look.
You also said yesterday that your wife handled a lot of the family expenses and the campaign finances. So are you saying that it's more her fault than your fault?
Well, I'm saying when I went to Iraq in 2003, the first time I gave her power of attorney, and she handled my finances throughout my entire military career, and that continued on when I got into Congress because I'm gone 5 days a week, I'm home for 2. So and she was also the campaign manager. So whatever she did on that'll be looked at too, I'm sure. But I didn't do it. I didn't spend any money illegally. I did not use campaign money, especially for Wounded Warrior stuff. There's no way.
I didn't do it. Look at my wife. That she was my campaign manager. I didn't spend the money. It must have been her. Not only that, but Hunter was said that he was sure prosecutors would look into whatever she did. Whatever. Wasn't me. The campaign made mistakes. Sure, he admitted in that interview. But I didn't do it. I reimbursed. I didn't know. Now, I'm going to go through some of the charges, right? Some of the things that they spent this money on. Now, this was from the list of charges. On or about March 20 of 2015, when Duncan Hunter told Margaret Hunter that he was planning on to buy my Hawaii shorts, but had run out of money. She then counseled him to buy the shorts at a golf pro shop so that they could falsely describe the purchase later as some golf balls for wounded warriors. So, you can look at that and be like, well, his wife told him. Yeah, and he listened. She may have said it, but he went out and said, honey, that's a great idea. I'm going to buy my Hawaii shorts. Now, other things, of course, they spent the money on were family vacations that included a trip to Italy, which was not campaign related. In fact, in order to justify use of the campaign funds to pay for that family trip, Duncan Hunter attempted to set up a day tour of the U.S. naval facility in Italy. Now, that didn't work out for him, because after Navy officials responded that they could only provide a tour on a particular date, Duncan Hunter said he would discuss the proposed date with Margaret Hunter, then subsequently told his chief of staff, quote, tell the Navy to go F themselves. And no tour had occurred. So again, he wanted the tour so he could say, look, oh, no, I didn't misuse campaign funds. I took my wife and my family out to Italy for a campaign event to go and tour the facility for the Navy. And when the Navy's like, sorry, dude, we don't have anything for you. He's like, F the Navy. Go F yourselves. But hey, Duncan Hunter wants to let you know that he loves the troops. He loves the troops. There's more. On or about March 4th of 2016 in Washington, D.C., Duncan Hunter spent about $462.46 in campaign funds for 30 shots of tequila and one steak at El Tamarindo restaurant during individual 8's bachelor party. That, of course, is somebody that's named in these charges. Goes to a bachelor party, buys 30 shots. Now, the question is on that, were they all for him, or was he buying rounds for people? Look, part of that says Duncan Hunter might love to party. It also says he might love to party too much. And of course, it also says that he loves to party with other people's money. Fiscally responsible, right? In fact, Hunter would apparently visit a certain bar several times a day while in Washington, D.C. There it gets a little dark. Does he have a problem? I don't know. Does he have marital problems? I don't know. Look, the way that he treated his wife might suggest that. Nobody throws their wife under the bus that hard. Now, as for his involvement, Duncan Hunter facilitated the theft of campaign funds by ignoring his campaign staff's multiple warnings about Margaret's improper use of campaign funds, accusing campaign staff of disloyalty by trying to create some kind of paper trail on me when they raised concerns about improper spending, and continually refusing to remove her access to campaign funds. In fact, she had been fired from the from being campaign manager. Then she was reinstated as campaign manager and actually got paid even more when she was rehired. Insanity, right? So, look, he blames his wife, but he was definitely involved. In fact, both of them were involved in spending the money together. Here's my take of it, right? So, he's a congressman. He makes $174,000 a year, right? Now, that's a decent amount of money. That's more than I can consider making. I don't even make a fraction of that. But look, there are some places, of course, where that doesn't make a lot of money, or isn't a lot of money. For example, New York, San Francisco, LA, Washington, D.C. Okay, look, I'm not saying that congressmen should be paid more or anything like that, but okay, and there are some places where it's not a ton of money, but it's still a decent amount of money. You can still love off that. But here's Duncan Hunter, and he said this before, that's not a lot of money. It's really hard for my wife to live off that and send our kids to private school. Oh, I'm sorry? Can you not afford to send your kids to private school? You know, you're in a position of power. Maybe you can make it so that public schools are good enough for you to send your kids to. That way, you wouldn't have to make more money and you wouldn't feel so poor. But look, here's the thing, right? I think this was a case of where they were addicted to spending money that wasn't theirs and living the high life. In fact, it's very clear that they were living beyond their means. And let me give you some relevant excerpts from this. Throughout the relevant period, the Hunters spent substantially more than they earned, They overdrew their bank account more than 1,100 times in a 7-year period, resulting in approximately $37,000 in overdraft and insufficient fund bank fees. Now, look, you want to talk about being fiscally responsible? Is somebody who overdrafts that much and spends that much fiscally responsible? Again, he overdrafted his own account, meaning he's spending money that he doesn't have and then borrowing from the campaign fund. That is other people's money. And he ended up spending $250,000 of other people's money on his own opulent lifestyle. And this guy wants to talk about being fiscally responsible. There's more. On or about January 25th, 2010, in Incline Village, Nevada, Duncan Hunter spent $1,008.72 in campaign funds at the Hyatt Regency Lake Tahoe Resort, Spa, and Casino for food, drinks, and 3 nights lodging during a personal ski trip with individual 14. On this day, the Hunter family bank account had a negative balance and incurred 6 separate insufficient fund fees, totaling a total of $198. Also on the same day, Duncan Hunter withdrew $20 from his personal bank account, leaving a total balance of $15.02. There's more. On or about August 6th to 10th, 2011, in Las Vegas and elsewhere, the Hunters spent $2,448.27 in campaign funds on a personal vacation. During this vacation, the Hunter family bank account began incurring insufficient fees until a check from Duncan's parents was deposited into the account on August 10th. This family was living way beyond their means and had willingly spent campaign money to live or continue to live their opulent lifestyle. So, as a result, they ripped people off who donated to them, using that money, which should have been for his re-election campaign, on his own own household. And look, there were other benign household items, things like groceries that they spent money on, going to Costco, dental work, as I said before. So, again, this is a family that seems very deeply dysfunctional. I mean, again, they make $174,000, him alone, as a congressman. They should be able to at least live off that. It won't be a fantastic lifestyle, at least in Washington, D.C. Here, if I made $162,000 or $174,000 a year living here, I would be, I would feel like I was rich. But I realize that in some places that it's not the most opulent, but you can definitely live a decent life on that. But that's not enough for Duncan Hunter and his family. No. It's got to go to the best private schools. It's got to take vacations to Italy. It's got to fly his pet rabbit. It's got to get special Hawaii shorts. So that shows you the kind of person he is. He ain't in it to serve you. He's in it for the money. And so he's going to steal your money in order to fund his lifestyle. Now, this brings me to the most frustrating thing about this at all. Hunter right now is leading in the polls by 8 points. Meaning, the same people who are being ripped off, his donors, are also likely to vote for him. They don't care that he stole their money, that he lives beyond his means, and continuously throws his wife under the bus, and then later on contradicts himself and defends her. They don't care. They don't care. How can he be ahead in the polls? I don't know. I don't know. These people are being robbed, and they're still saying, no, go ahead and use my money. I may not make much, but here's my money. Go and do whatever the hell you want. I will still support you. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.